Strikeout, weak ground ball single, strikeout, home run to right field at Yankee Stadium that barely clears the wall, and strikeout. Lots of weak contact, very unlucky showing. ERA is 18, xERA 21.31, FIP is 10.21, xFIP would be negative. It's time to show some love for the victims of bad luck on a pitcher's mound. It's too easy to look at ERA or pitcher wins just like it's too easy for batting average or RBIs. These statistics are dated, incomplete, they lack overall context, and in the modern game, they are lazy versions of the bigger picture. Some people may think simple is good. Sometimes it is, but with simple answers comes simple context. Baseball games do not have simple context. It takes effort to challenge the norm, and if nobody sees a problem, nobody seeks a solution. As a pitcher, weak ground balls are good. Sometimes they turn into routine plays, but sometimes they find holes. Now sure, situational hitting plays a part in each defensive setup, but any swing by a hitter is designed to make solid contact. It's the mishits where luck really comes into play. A similar effect occurs with fly balls. An identical fly ball in the air could stay in the yard or it could clear the fence in a different ballpark. It could even get caught in the wind, either saving or hurting a pitcher. It is possible to eliminate luck in all of these cases, but all of those cases are just a little bit different. Batting average on balls in play. This number has very bad correlation year after year, so it's the classic indicator of luck. Your FIP could outperform your ERA, since FIP has better regard for future performance. Your left on base percentage could be far lower than your ERA, and FIP might suggest showing bad luck with runners on base. Your xFIP could outperform your FIP and ERA, which shows how unlucky your fly balls might be. Also, your hard hit percentage could be low and far better than your ERA and FIP might suggest. A popular method to define pitcher luck is by subtracting ERA from FIP. These numbers are theoretically meant to be equal, so if ERA minus FIP is negative, that means you're maybe getting lucky on the mound. Justin Verlander took home the Cy Young Award in 2022 for the American League. He posted a 1.75 ERA and 2.49 FIP. With a difference of 0.74, somebody could suggest he got a little lucky. Both numbers are still really good. Lucky might not have been the best word, but one number, FIP, says that he underperformed his ERA. Then we have Kevin Gausman with the Blue Jays in 2022, holding a 3.35 ERA and 2.38 FIP. It's the inverse, better FIP than ERA, and here we have a guy that looks to have done better than what his ERA shows. This is not meant to say that Gausman was better than Verlander, but one could speculate that if 2022 was longer, both would see their ERAs drift closer to their FIP. Interesting enough, this has happened in 2023 so far. Now, both Verlander and Gausman had very good seasons in 2022. None of them are hurting for money, both are established veterans enjoying the fine life. Not everybody gets to build that big of a resume. Let's rewind back to the misfortuned inning we started with. Let's pretend this is you at the beginning of a season or in an MLB debut, and you're fighting for one more chance. Let's say this bad luck becomes a trend. In this situation, you are left hoping that you play for a team that doesn't use traditional metrics to evaluate pitchers. If all that bad luck gets tabbed to overall performance, a player may never get a chance to build a comprehensive body of work. This can hurt overall morale, knowing you might be held responsible for something that's out of your control. It might breed a culture or a mindset of trying to justify results rather than simply going out there to show your best stuff. Let's check out a pitcher getting really lucky. Line drive double, walk, hard ground ball in the hole to the second baseman, pop out to first, and a demolished fly ball caught in the deepest part of Oracle Park. ERA is a cool 0.00, xERA is 12.99, so we're kind of all over the place here. FIP is 9.21, this only factors in 2 walks. xFIP is 10.67, walks and the fly ball get factored into this one. And hard hit percentage is 75%, far above the league average in the low 30s. It's tough to picture feeling confident about this outing. Yes, there is a 0 in the run column. Yes, they worked out of it, but let's call it what it is. This is a mess. Let's imagine this becoming a trend. Hard hits, playing with fire, but somehow escaping jams. Imagine Peyton Manning throwing a touchdown pass to a bigger or smaller end zone, or Steph Curry working with a shorter or deeper three-point line. Baseball literally has its own version of this. Maybe it's not drastic like that, but it's a direct comparison. Sure, it's cool, it makes each ballpark unique. It's also tough to handle when you allow a home run in one ballpark that would literally stay in the yard at the other 29. Example, 5 routine fly balls in a row landing just inside the right field foul pole. Now this is a drastic example, but let's say we have Wrigley Field and Fenway Park overlaid together. Wrigley has a deep right field foul pole, one of the deepest in the league, and about 50 feet deeper than Pesky's pole at Fenway Park in Boston. Let's say 4 of 5 would clear the fence at Fenway, and none of those 5 would at Wrigley. Drastic example, yes, but ERA at Wrigley Field is 0, at Fenway Park it is 108. FIP doesn't know what to do because it only factors in the home runs. XFIP is extremely high, but it's identical in both ballparks. That's the big point here. There is a stat that is the same in both situations. Now this is about as crazy as it can get with a pitcher getting lucky or unlucky, but it's enough to reconsider any presumptions when sample sizes start to get bigger. Then plays the next advancement. You need a decent body of work for this to really play a factor, but once we've arrived at a good collection of innings, park factors are how to make things fair. Each ballpark has a unique factor that changes year after year for all sorts of outcomes. Overall park factors can be condensed down to one single number, which can help take the luck of a ballpark out of a picture. ERA plus, ERA minus, FIP plus, FIP minus, these are all statistics that use a ballpark factor in final calculations. A sky-high XFIP could lead someone to develop pitches with better vertical breaks, since they know their current pitch mix yields a lot of fly balls and potential home run damage. A high FIP doesn't include anything that was put in play. Anything in play shows bad correlation year after year, so FIP is a good predictor, but it also throws out how a pitcher can force contact. This is where xERA, XFIP, and CERA can help out. A player frustrated by a higher than normal ERA can find peace knowing maybe it isn't their fault no matter what a single number might say. It could be bad, like a bad ERA is potentially a reflection of bad performance, but a good FIP by comparison can encourage a player to stay the course. A baseball writer with a Cy Young vote could override traditional views and account for ballpark and year just by using a stat with a plus or minus after it. Baseball coaches everywhere will tell players to control what they can control. This is true, and this is valid in practice, but it does require effort on both sides. A coach can control how they collect objective information too. Traditional measures of performance could cost players opportunities that they otherwise deserve. Just like Crash Davis says in Bull Durham, the difference between a 250 and 300 average is 25 hits in 500 at-bats. That's one extra flare a week, and you're in Yankee Stadium. This goes the other way too. One fewer flare by a pitcher and they're in the big leagues, except it shouldn't be that way. We're here to go far beyond the box score. This game is best enjoyed with all the nuance, all the inside truth on what makes the game great. Luck will always play a factor in baseball, but our analysis beyond it deserves so much more attention.